is your hero, but you did not see him. You did not know him.
Don't talk about my father, I snarled. You didn't know him. Maybe something softened in his stare, but I didn't want his damn pity. I growled and sent a blast of power at him, but it was guided by rage and insecurity and only bounced off his shoulder. Still, it was a hit, something I hadn't managed to do all morning, and he immediately lifted his hand to squeeze the injured arm. Shit, I said, immediately contrite. I'm sorry, Elder. He sighed and shook his head.
Fear, he said. It will kill you in the end.
I stiffened my spine. You're training me to call and control my power, not smack you around with it. We'd been at it for hours, and as far as I could tell, I hadn't learned to do anything but fall well. I'd thought he might call in some wolves to fight me, the way he'd sent them to fight me on the night I'd taken Pharaoh. But no, it wasn't going to be that easy.
I know you can fight, he said when I'd complained. You are here to learn your power, and yourself. I expected more on your first session, he told me now. He was enormous in his furs, muscular and strong despite his incredible age, his shaggy hair unbound and trailing down his broad back. He held his mysterious and powerful staff in his huge hand and never lost his grip on it, no matter how many times he slapped me with his power. Return next week, and we will try again.
He didn't sound as though he expected much then either, and that just pissed me off. I was better than that. I was strong. I had power. Power that had exploded out of me and knocked me on my ass, but that power hadn't been something I'd deliberately called. I'd sent it to the sky, true, but I had to admit that was because I couldn't pull it back in. I couldn't play with it, gentle it, mold it. It was messy and deadly, and if I wasn't careful, I would kill someone I didn't mean to kill. All morning, I'd been trying to feel it, to bring it to the surface, but other than the little string of power I'd spat at the Elder, there'd been nothing. He believed that meant I was weak. Maybe I did too. I was disgusted that my emotions fueled my power. Not just my emotions, but rage-filled, terror-driven, psychotic break sort of emotions. He knew it too, and that was likely why he was both contemptuous and throwing me on my ass, hoping for a little anger to induce my magic. It was pathetic and embarrassing. But without desperation and the fear that I or someone I loved was about to die, my power just lay quietly deep inside, mocking me. Ale stared down at me. Even at 5'10", I was short next to the huge, hulking and ancient wolf, frustration peeking through his icy eyes. But abruptly, his stare cleared, and he grinned. That grin caused me to take a step back, because there was something distinctly cruel in it. I knew immediately he was going to do something I wouldn't like. The Wolf Elder played dirty, and he didn't seem to like me to begin with.
You simply need consistent practice, he told me, both in controlling your emotions and calling your power. I've been too easy on you today, attempting to stir you by causing you physical pain. But you only fear emotional pain. So, I will cause you some, over and over, until you can begin to call your power. Then we will work on controlling your temper and emotions.
He turned and gestured, and a holographic image of my father wavered around 10 yards from where I stood. That's some trick, I said calmly, but my heart was heavy in my chest.
The training room is set up for our sessions, he told me. Whatever I need to use to train you is here. I have only to call it. Your mind needs to be untangled, pup, and the way to do that is to chop at it with a sharp blade.
So now you're my therapist, too. I laughed, and honestly, it didn't sound too hollow. You really are an asshole, aren't you? He shrugged one massive shoulder, then pointed at the image.
When you manage to bring your power, direct the stream at Daniel Silver. If you turn it on me again, I will spank you, and you will not like it.
The lines in his face deepened when he gave a pleased smirk. I wouldn't have put it past the Elder.